Hey guys, it's your boy Ratner2 here, aka Warlock Wars. I'm here to do a enhancement shaman guide. 7.2.5 is here. It's been a couple weeks, so I'm able to experiment with the class, and here it is. Let's start off with talents. Okay, because I'm Orc, I'm running Relentless most of the time because of the the Orc racial, and I'll show you it now. That's the racial ability, which increases melee power and spell power by 2,243. Alright? Not just that. Not just that. Uh, um, if I can find it. Alright, duration of stun effects reduced by an additional 20%. Then, plus reduce crowd control effects by 20%. So if I get stunned plus relentless, that's 40% reduced CC. Okay, so just round that up. That's if you're Orc and I'm Orc. Now, I'm doing the honor talents first, and then I'll do normal talents. Alright, honor talents here. We've got relentless. Your preference on each one you want to run. Like paladins usually run adaptation for the 3 to 4 trinkets they have. Ret paladins mainly. Here it just depends on what you're versing. If you're versing melee, go sparring. If you're versing rock comps, reinforced armor. If you're versing I don't know. Sometimes I use hardness if I don't know what I should be using. That's just, you know. Here, Skyfurum you will take most of the time. Increases all damage, critical effect of damage, healing spells by 20% for 15 seconds. So that should be in your best. Counter Strike Totem is also very good because I'll read it here. Whenever enemies within 20 yards of the totem deal direct damage to the totem will deal. The totem will deal 100% of the damage dealt back to the attacker. So if you feel like every game you're getting pressured from the same team, Counter Strike's probably your best bet. Wind Fury I don't really look at, but mainly it's Sky Fury and Counter Strike. This all depends on what your playstyle is. If you're versing melee comps, physical damage like Survivor Hunter, Warrior, like melee comps pretty much, this is your best bet. 45-second cooldown, you lose 50% of your movement speed, but you're immune to all physical damage for 15 seconds. And you can turn it on and off. So if you want to use it, you can. If you want to use it for like 5 seconds and then you can get out of it and the cooldown will start. Okay, so that's that. Here, Static Cling is probably what I've been using a lot. Pretty much to sum it up, after you use Storm Strike twice in a row, you create a coil of lightning binding the target, increasing damage the target receives from your attacks by 15% and increases your movement speed by 15% while Cling holds. If the target moves further than 15 yards from you, the Cling will be broken. Okay? Forked Lightning. When you use Storm Strike, conjure bolts of lightning up to 2 furthest enemies within 40 yards, deal 130,000 nature damage. Static Cling is I think the best. Yup, Static Cling is the best, okay? Shamanism's the best. You and your other DPS or your other healer is able to use Bloodlust. So if you're a shaman, you know what Bloodlust. Pretty much you don't use the other two because Shamanism is just the best. Here it is. Here are your normal talents you're going to be running. Landslide, all the time. Feral Lunge, all the time. Earth Grab Totem, Lightning Surge, and Voodoo Totem. I don't use Voodoo Totem too much, unless the comp that I'm versing, they just stack on each other. That's the only time Voodoo Totem I believe is good. Earth Grab's amazing if you're versing like Mistweavers, because if they're just training the pillar, and you're trying to get a hex out and you can't, when they're running around the pillar, throw it to where they're running, so they'll have to run to you, or they can get trapped, and either way, you will get your hex. Lightning Surge Totem is very good if your teammates don't use stuns. and it can be used for that quick second. Oh my god, we need peels ASAP. Tell your healer to stay still for 2 seconds. Bang. All enemies within 8 yards are stunned for 5 seconds. That's a great peel. Hailstorm, all the time. Tempest, all the time. Crashing storms, depends on what you're running. If you want to run just straight up damage hitting, Sundering's your best bet. It just, if you're running at the moment, Sundering you don't even need, because when you go to Ascendance, I get so many procs to the point where I'm just spamming Storm Strike, which is how many procs I get. And each hit hits over 600k to 1,000,000 each hit. So that you don't really need. Fury of Air pretty much is if you're versing casters and you can't catch up to them. Fury of Air creates a vortex within 8 yards around you, dealing 30k damage every 1 second. Enemies caught in the slow. It'll slow them by 30% for 3 seconds, and it keeps going again and again. It keeps refreshing itself. But other than that, you want to run Crashing Storms. When you hit Crash Lightning, it just does an AoE effect, and if they're sitting on you, you can train them into it. But yeah, here's Ascendance and Boulder Fist, where you can choose. Okay, Rock Bite is recharge time is reduced by 50% and deals 20% increased damage. That there also used to increase something. I think it was increase your damage by 5% every time you used it, but I think they had to nerf it a bit because it was pretty broken. But Ascendance is your best bet. Ascendance does so much damage right now. Sure, it's a 3-minute cooldown, it's a long cooldown, but it is worth it. Believe me, Ascendance is worth it. Now let's go into macros. Okay, we got the big heals. This is bad. I had that macro back in Mop. Where you were able to use Healing Stream Totem. I don't think the only totems you have are the slows and stun ones. You don't have any other healing totems now. So big heals is out of the question. Don't even look at that. Enhanced PvP burst. It requires Bloodlust, Doom Winds, Blood Fury, Sky Fury Totem, and Ascendance. There you go. Focus is it's /cast target equals focus hex. That's your hex, and there's your silence. The reason I don't have Arena Macro 1 and 2 and 3 is because most of the time the teammates I play with have AoE stuns that hits everyone, or just they're able to get it off instantly where I've got to cast it. So yeah, but besides that, like, Enhance is like your big damaging ability. See, Ascendance, man, like, it's so strong right now. At the moment, Turbo is probably the best comp to run at the moment. Well, it's not the best, but it's one of the best. But yeah, guys, this has been the Enhancement Shaman 7.2.5 guide. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from this. This has been your boy Ratner2. Peace.